The young Mister Baudelaire was a peculiar lad. I had watched him for a few months, and the thing that bothered me the most is that he's always carrying the same old valise everywhere. It was not a big valise, just a small one, but it seemed to have no purpose at all because I had noticed that he used to carry another bag with his belongings. Sometimes the bags were green, sometimes grey, sometimes brown, or even red. But no matter what the bag he carried, the old valise was always the same, and he never, ever opened it. Even though we lived quite close to each other, I have never spoken to him, nor him to me. Sometimes I used to throw things to the floor deliberately to catch his attention, but nothing. So one day I decided to follow him and discover the content of the mysterious case. That particular day, I decided to steal his valise just to open it and then give it back to him. I did not want to keep the case, I just wanted to see what was inside. I sat still next to him, and for a few moments I was thinking not to steal it after all. And then an impulse shook my body and I took the valise. I ran and ran. I wanted to be far enough to actually open it. I saw over my shoulder and I discovered that he was desperately following me. I ran and ran. I even thought that an hour had passed, or a whole day, because when we stopped we were in a place I never saw before. When he finally reached me, he asked me why I had stolen his valise. "Why did you steal my valise? It is not my fault." "Well, my valise is in your hands, so I think it is quite your fault. I just wanted to know what was inside, but you are always so mysterious you would never let me know, and I cannot take it anymore." "Oh, what?" "Well, I never thought that someone would be interested in me." "Oh, my valise." "What? Of course I'm interested in your valise. I see from my house how you're always carrying it, but never actually open it." "I swore I was going to give it back to you." "Well, in that case you could have asked me. I would show you immediately. But you have to promise not to laugh. Promise." So he opened the old valise and a lot of things came to my mind. I imagined him taking an old diary or some ugly glasses, a toothbrush, some money, a knife, or even a skull. But what came from it was nothing more than a perfectly made porcelain doll. He carefully took it, showed it to me and explained me that it was his mother. "This is my mother, or at least a doll that resembles a lot to her. When I was little, I imagined her dying and started to cry, so she explained me that when she died, she would still exist in the doll, and I felt better. Of course, I don't believe this story anymore, but I like to think that she's actually with me every day." "I don't think your story is stupid, because actually, I also carry my mother everywhere. It's not a doll, it's a ring, but it reminds me that she's with me. It's just an old ring, but for me, it's like being with my mother." And in that particular moment, we knew we belonged to each other. Like a water drop belongs to a leaf. And the time passed and we married. We had a beautiful life. We felt the world stop around us. Sometime after, he died. And I took the doll and realized that I had to leave her to someone who would really take care of her. And I thought of you. I thought to leave you this case with this message, so you could tell this story about the strange valise of young Baudelaire. The end.